Hello. Welcome again to my channel. I'm so grateful to have you here. And thank you to my 200 subscribers. I'm so proud to share this space with you. I just wanted to jump on here and have a casual chat. Most of us have something in common. We were drawn to this path by intense psychological suffering. This suffering is caused by believing in the incessant voice in our head that analyzes, ruminates, and commentates on everything. We believe in this voice that it's the agent of life. It claims what appears in thoughts, and we have been conditioned to identify with this voice. Since we were very young, this commentator has claimed we identify with the thinker of thoughts. We believe wholeheartedly that we are this one. And this belief causes so much suffering in our lives. We feel responsible to get it right, to live up to the standards of society, to be productive and upright citizens, to be happy, to be loved, and for those that we love to be proud of us. But it's not possible to control life through thoughts. We believe we're separate from life. And in this way, we use thoughts as a tool to try to manipulate it, change life, make it better, more pleasurable. It's pretty rare to even ask, am I the thinker of thoughts? This is very uncommon in society. Most of society assumes that we are the body and the contents of mind as individuals. And these thoughts take what simply is and filters it through these assumptions. And this is not resonant with truth. And it causes discordance. And we start seeking for anything and everything, for some relief. Simply because we believe in the agency of thoughts, and we believe we are that agent. Because everybody else in the world does. It's just a misunderstanding. It's innocent ignorance. And it's grace when we find ourselves with the capacity to question who we really are. And though it's not possible to know who we really are, it is possible to see what we are not. This is a process of elimination. We may not know where we're headed on this journey, even though we may think we know. Clear seeing is usually surprising and funny and a little bit disappointing. And the disappointment comes from seeing that we really are not in control. And this is a process of radical acceptance. When we see clearly that we are not the willer of life, the doer, the thinker, the manipulator of life, not as the separate being, it can induce a great hopelessness that is the beginning of freedom. The beginning of seeing that we were always free. Investigation and inquiry doesn't enlighten people. People never become enlightened. There are no people to become enlightened. But investigation and inquiry can induce a pregnant state for clarity to be born. The fog can clear for you to see what was there all along. Humans spend vast amount of energy in the attempt to manipulate life. This can be exhausting and overwhelming. We just want relief. And we believe that searching for it outside of ourselves is the only option. But relief from the suffering has always been close to us. In every instant that arises and falls, that peace is here now. In between the thoughts, in between the words. When we see a thought as a thought, like a puff of smoke that is only a reflection of life. When we watch the thoughts and closely watch ourselves watching the thoughts, this is standing at the gateless gate, dispassionately observing our thoughts can make the fog lift suddenly. And it's seen that enlightenment it's always been. You are peace itself, love, freedom itself. There is nothing other than that. To every thought that arises, we can say, This too is this. The boundlessness, the great mystery. We are strong enough to handle life directly and experience it fully and intimately. We don't need a reflection, and we don't need for the reflections to stop. Reflections being thought. If we are not thought and thoughts, the mind, then why do we need thoughts to calm down and stop? When we get wrapped up in the turmoil of thoughts, we are lending our awareness to them, powering them, perpetuating them, resisting them. Anything that arises, including thoughts, are allowed and have the right to exist. But thoughts are like ghosts. They barely exist at all. As soon as one arises, it falls. We don't have to fear them. We can see the meaninglessness of them. It's just a survival pattern, a response to trauma. We can have compassion for this natural pattern. We can hold space for it, even though it's not an entity. It's a natural pattern in nature, just like flowers growing and dying. It's the thought that these are my thoughts and I thought them that causes suffering. Many people on the path get stuck in a place where they're waiting for their thoughts to do something other than what they've always done. And this is a trap. This is a place of perpetuating thoughts, fueling thoughts, because what we resist persists. We must get some space between thoughts. Become very, very curious about them and perplexed about the source of thoughts, not the thoughts themselves. This is a powerful place to be. Investigating, inquiring, curious. This is where the fog lifts. Sight, sound, taste, smell, and touch, sensation. These are direct. This is direct experience. And this is truth, no matter how it appears. Thoughts are always only a reflection of this truth, a distorted, filtered, pseudo-reality. These thoughts are desperate. They live in a place of lack. They live in mortality. They never, ever tell the truth. The truth cannot be told, thought, or spoken. There is no overcoming thoughts by fighting and resisting them. Resistance is playing in to the delusion, the fantasy. And we can't simply decide not to fight them either. This is another form of resistance and manipulation. It's trying to control thought by not controlling it. So what do? We must look closely until we see we are not the thinker of them. And then there will be a great release through the hopelessness, through the fear, through the triggers, deeply. Thought is a beautiful, practical tool that we are given in this incarnation to navigate this world, to be creators. But that is only when we are the master of thoughts, and thoughts are a slave to us. Mind is not a very good master. It's not a controller. It's a horrible manipulator. It's not very good at it, if you haven't noticed. This isn't working. Analyzing, consuming information, trying to understand, to consume more knowledge. It's not working. When we are open to what is, simply, even to thoughts, and allow them to be, give them a safe place to exist, they will serve you. You are aliveness itself, boundless, borderless, all-inclusive. Your very existence is a yes to everything. It exists within you. The great mystery. That which cannot be spoken or conceived of. Ever bursting into existence. Ever perishing in every instant. Pure beingness. Unconditional love. Beauty and horror. The whole miraculous dream. Duality. Non-duality. Samsara. Nirvana. I am that I am.